Hey guys, Nicolai here. Before we begin, I'd like to quickly tell you about our sponsor, Moot. Moot is a community-driven platform for those who enjoy talking and sharing up-to-date information about the games they play. One of the many great things about Moot is their level up system that rewards you for sharing, voting, and discussing the games you enjoy playing. Moot's goal is to grow with and for the community by giving back to it. So check out the first link in the description to join Moot today, and now let's get into the video. The world is a pretty big place. With 195 countries in total, each country has its own cultural differences. But another world that is very vast and pretty big is the world of League of Legends. On the screen right now, you are seeing a list of every official Riot server at the moment, excluding a handful of Asian servers that are operated by Garena. Despite it being the same game for everyone around the world, each server has their own significant differences. So today we're taking a look at 5 of some of the most interesting regional differences in League of Legends. Let's jump right in and get started with number 5, where we go all the way to the biggest land in the world, the Russian League of Legends server.
Hello my friends, it's FS Russia again.
When I learned what I'm about to show you, I actually went on to search for other benefits in other servers, and that's when I thought about making this video. So here we are now. The regional difference here is with clubs. You know, when clubs came out, it was pretty neat in the beginning. You could add your friends to essentially group chats with fun names to organize when to play together or just to talk. Eventually though, no one was using the clubs. No one was talking in them, many people were even leaving clubs altogether. And in the end, the only reason today people use clubs is just to have a funny clan tag. But for some reason, the Russian department of Riot Games did things differently with their clubs. In Russia, you're actually rewarded for playing with your club. Basically, you have to join a club, play ranked games with your club members, and you would earn points that would later be turned into free Hextech chests and keys. They even have a ladder system for playing with your club, and every member of a club that finished first on the ladder gets a whole 10 chests and 10 keys. The feature itself is very simple, but I put it on this list because it's just strange that Riot never added this to other servers despite clubs being really dead to most people. Alright, now let's leave Mother Russia and take a trip to number 4, South Korea, the land of the morning calm. The Korean region of League of Legends is widely known as the strongest region. With over 20% of the league player base coming from Korea, you can imagine that they would have some differences compared to everyone else. Aside from the regional differences that I'm about to tell you about, South Korea has a lot of cultural differences when it comes to gaming and esports. South Korea was one of the first places to take esports seriously as a whole country. Even all the way back in 2008, which is almost 10 years ago now, South Korea had already had a dedicated channel just to broadcast professional StarCraft matches. But anyway, jumping into Korea's regional differences, we begin with making an account. Making an account on any other server is as easy as just going on a website and making a username and password. But in Korea, it's not like that. In order to make a League of Legends account in South Korea, you need to sign up with your IPIN and/or a Korean phone number. Coming straight from Google, an IPIN is the gateway to all online services in Korea. IPIN is a username and password that allows you to use Korean internet services, either private or public, without revealing your alien registration card number. This comes with South Korea already having strict online rules. Some of those being that it is illegal to sell and buy boost for League of Legends. The selling of accounts is also looked down upon, not necessarily illegal though. But boosting in South Korea can even be punishable up to 10 years in prison. But of course, like everything illegal in the world, people find ways. Secondly, for another South Korean regional difference, and well, also cultural difference, the open mid phenomenon. Saying open mid is a notorious way of saying you're giving up and telling the enemy team to just run all mid and end it so you can move on to the next game. This is of course done before 15 or 20 minutes where you aren't able to surrender. There's always attempts of doing this on EU, NA, and other servers, but this only really works in South Korea. But why is that the case? Well, one of and really the biggest reason is that a large amount of kids in Korea play in internet cafes, which are a huge thing in Korea, and you probably know them as PC bangs. And PC bangs aren't free, they charge by the hour. So whenever these kids have a bad start, instead of hoping to come back in the late game, they instantly give up and call to open mid. That way the game ends fast and they can go start a new game where they might have a good start. This happens in all of the ELOs in Korea. Just one of these guys going AFK in the fountain is enough to start a domino effect. Because odds are that out of the remaining 4 players who aren't AFK, one of those guys is also playing in a PC bang and is not trying to waste their time and money, so then they also go and sit in the fountain. And then the remaining players aren't about to try and win 3 versus 5, so now everyone gives up and lets the enemy team win. This is a very common and toxic behavior, and if you watch any streamers that stream from Korea, you likely have seen it a few times and also have heard that Riot Games Korea does not punish this. From what I've learned, unless you're cheating, it's borderline impossible to get banned in South Korea. For number 3, we go down under to the Oceania server where stuff is kinda odd down there. This won't be as big as the Korean differences, but it's still interesting and a nice little did you know tidbit. On the Oceania server, which is used by our brothers and sisters in Australia and New Zealand, they are limited to when they can and cannot play ranked. In OCE, ranked solo queue turns off every day at 3 AM to 6 AM, but during that time you can still play ranked flex queue, and then at 7 AM they turn ranked solo queue back on. To me it's really weird that they would basically turn off the biggest game mode in League for 3 to 4 hours every day. And when you search online for this, you just find a lot of people who are angry about the queues being disabled. I did find that apparently the reason for turning the queues off at those times is because the population of Australia and New Zealand who are playing League is very small at those hours, and it is difficult for Riot to match you with players of your rank. And this actually kind of makes sense for me, because I've watched a few high elo OCE players and they sometimes are in queue for almost a whole hour. But either way, they are the only server that does this, and that is Oceania's biggest regional difference. Aside from also the fact that they do this to Twisted Treeline as well, and is even weirder. On OCE, normal queue Twisted Treeline is on Tuesday to Wednesday, and then ranked Twisted Treeline is on Thursday to Friday through 3 PM to 1 AM. Once again, Riot claims that this is an issue of population in the servers. But on paper, it sounds so weird that these game modes that we're so used to having 24/7 are limited to certain days and hours. Now for number 2, picking right where we just left off, Twisted Treeline. I play in the North American server, and we have Twisted Treeline all day every day. I'm pretty sure that's the case with EU and others as well, but I learned that there are actually a handful of servers that don't have that luxury. Of course, adding on to Oceania's issue, the Latin American servers also get Twisted Treeline every once in a while. This was also the case back when the greatest game mode of all time, Dominion, was in the game. NA and other servers had it permanently, but other servers, because of population issues, were not able to play it when they wanted to. So guys, count your blessings, and don't take Twisted Treeline for granted, like we did Dominion. Or went out for Dominion one time. I kinda miss playing hide and seek. And number 1, in Brazil, Poros snacks are actually called poritos in the Brazilian server. That might be the biggest regional difference by far. Once again, my name's Nicolai, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, click or tap my face to subscribe. Or if you'd like to watch one of my previous videos, click the video to the right. Remember to join Moot by clicking the first link in the description, and as always, thanks for watching. Peace.